Hello everyone, welcome back. So as you saw in the title, we are going to be doing my everyday routine makeup that I've been doing lately. I've been loving this routine. It is a little bit more full of coverage, but it's going to hold up in the heat a little bit longer, and it just looks so flawless, and I absolutely love this routine. So I was like, I have to share because it kind of kicks it back old school a little bit with some of these products, but I'm also using some newer products as well. So before we get started, if you have not subscribed already, I would so appreciate if you did so. Let's grow this family. We are at almost 400 subscribers. Once we get to 400, we're still gonna have 600 to go before I can get to 1,000 subscribers, which means that I can then get a little bit of money for my content, which it's not all about the money. Obviously, I'm putting in this time and this effort because I love makeup and I love doing this, but also with YouTube automatically putting ads on your videos and you putting in the time and the work into your content, like, it's nice if you get a little bit of money, even if it's not, I'm not saying I'm going to be able to quit my job, but hey, 20 bucks is some gas money, you know? So let's get started. I already did my skincare for today. So we're going to go ahead and prime. So for primer, I'm just using this one right here. So this one is from SheGlam, and I just love the packaging. It's just so pretty. Sometimes I go for a smoothing primer, and sometimes I go for more of a gripping primer, like the e.l.f. gripping primer, for those days where I know I'm gonna be outside a lot and I just need something that's really gonna grip and hold on my makeup for like a good, amount of hours. So we're just gonna use a smoothing primer for today. So I'm just going to put a little bit and I'm gonna just put it where I really want it to smooth, but then slowly blend it out to other areas. I do have a tan because I just got back from vacation. I got back last Thursday, so we were there for almost a week. We went to South Carolina, which I actually really like it there. And we went to Myrtle Beach, and it was really, really fun. Like, really, really fun. Like, me and my husband probably just can't wait until we can go back again. We got back, and then we went to an amusement park. About a day later, we went to an amusement park, and then that night I got home and I just wasn't really feeling my best. Like, I was fine all day, and then I got home, and as we were driving home, actually, I just kept coughing, like this annoying cough, and it kind of reminded me of when I had COVID the first time, which was like maybe 2 years ago at this point. And I tested myself that night with a home test, and I was positive. So I'm home, I'm bored, so we're just gonna film a whole bunch of content and get a whole bunch of cleaning done. So before we go into foundation, I'm actually going to prime my under eye first, so that way we can do that. And to do that, I'm actually going to use this here. It's the new REM Beauty. This is the Full Night Sleep Cooling Blurring Under Eye Balm. I did pick up her concealer as well because I was very interested. I do like to use a under eye like cream or primer now, especially now that I'm getting older. I do have some fine lines, and sometimes I do have a dry under eye, so I do like to prep it before putting on concealer. So this is what this looks like. I haven't tried it yet, so this is what this looks like. It's super, super cute. So we're gonna give this a go. Do you see how like frosted and like already blurring that looks? I'm excited. So we're just gonna ooh, it feels so hydrating. It almost feels like it's gonna be silicone-y when you first take it out of the container, but it kind of just almost feels like a water-based gel. Ooh, this feels really, really nice. Like, my under eyes actually feel cool and hydrated. I'm not gonna lie, I wish it would have came with a little scoop. I know the concealer did, because I did pick up the concealer as well. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I did pick up the concealer as well, so I think I don't know if I'm gonna use the scoop for the concealer, but I definitely think I might keep it for this product because it's kind of hard to get it out on your finger. Like you really have to like dig in there, which I don't want to do, because if you just kind of like touch the top, it barely gets on your finger. So using a little scoop I think will help. Oh, that feels so good. I'm just kind of putting that everywhere. Okay, so I so far like this. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. I am using my staple products in this video because it is like my everyday routine, the makeup that I've been gravitating towards, but I do have a few new products in this video as well. So the concealer is new, so I'm not going to judge the blurring eye balm with the concealer because it might work great with other concealers if I don't like it with her new concealer. So, but it does feel very, very nice. I just wish it came with like a little scoop, but I'm sure you can probably buy like a pack of little cosmetic or like skincare scoops on like Amazon for things like that. But yeah, it just feels so hydrated and cooling. It feels really, really good. So for foundation, I am going to be using this one right here. It's the Maybelline Up to 30 Hour Wear Foundation. Who's wearing their foundation for 30 hours, but I really do like it, and it does hold up really, really well, especially in the heat. So this is 220 Natural Beige. I don't know if it's going to be a little bit too light. My face is still pretty pale, and on camera, I don't know if you can tell, I do have a pretty nice tan from being on vacation, but on camera I might look a little washed out with the lighting and everything, but hopefully it will be okay. But I love, love, love this foundation. This one I would say is a good like medium coverage. You can probably build it up to full coverage, but I really, really, really like this foundation. So I'm just gonna do about a pump and a half. That might be a little bit too much, but, and then I just take a sponge and I just dab just all over. I try not to get foundation up to my under eye, but sometimes it happens. So the foundation is on. I do have like a lot of like texture and dry skin on this side, so we're just gonna ignore that. But when you don't have a whole bunch of like raised texture on super, super dry skin, this foundation is really, really nice. If you do suffer from like really dry, flaky skin, I would use something a little bit more moisturizing. If you have like normal, maybe combo or oily skin, I think you'll really like this foundation. And it does like set down enough that if you don't want to wear a powder, you don't have to. Obviously, if you're going to be outside in the high heat, then I do recommend wearing a powder. All right, so for concealer, normally when I do this routine, I kind of just swap out my concealers. There's not a specific concealer that I'm like, you know, it goes great with this combo and you need to use it with like, so I always switch out my concealers. So I'm going to be using a new one today. This one's from REM, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to see. This one is in the shade Medium 2N. This is the little scoop that comes with it. It's super, super cute. It's like it's like super like cheap and plasticky, but definitely will work. But I'm not going to use it. I'm actually going to save it for the eye balm because I think it would work best with that. So she did come out with a little like UFO sponge looking thing. I know like people who were reviewing this concealer didn't really like the sponge. They felt like it was too thick of a formula to use with the sponge. So I'm not going to use a sponge to blend this. Right, so that's what this concealer looks like. You can tell it looks very, very thick. So I'm going to use a little concealer brush. This one is the Expert Concealer Brush from Real Techniques. It's the 210. Honestly, I was kind of scared, but it's blending out pretty good. Especially with this brush, it like blended so quickly. I'm just going to put a very little bit on my eyelid just to kind of cancel out any redness. I'm not putting a whole lot. That looks, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like that looks so hydrating, but it doesn't look cakey or anything. Yeah, I really, really like it so far. So obviously I don't know how it's gonna wear, but it seems very nice. And I've been looking for a pot concealer, but seriously, like almost every pot concealer is so expensive. It's like $30, $40, freaking $50. So this one here is only I think $24, which obviously is, you know, still a little steep, but like compared to most drugstore prices nowadays, like it's not that much more expensive. So I think it's going to be a very nice product to use to carve out your eyebrows as well. So right now we are going to set the face. We're going to kick it back old school and use the Fit Me Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder. I have it in the shade Fair and Light. I think that the light one does run a little bit dark in my opinion, and it does have some pigment, so I just go for the light one. But if you are definitely like really fair, I would go for this one here. I don't know if there's a translucent one. I haven't seen one, but maybe my stores have just always been sold out. So you can see like how it has like a good tint to it. So I'm going to use the shade Fair under my eyes just to kind of help brighten. And to do this, I'm just going to use a dampen sponge, and then I always tap off the excess and just kind of make it even on the palm of my hand. Just kind of make sure that there's no, it is starting to crease already a little bit, so that kind of already tells us that this is not going to set down unless you have like maybe super dry under eyes. And then I just kind of bring it down. It's gonna look scary at first because you're gonna be like, whoa, but I promise you it will come together. Then I'm just gonna take a nice fluffy brush and we're just gonna get rid of all the excess powder. And this powder just leaves your skin looking so smooth and flawless and poreless, like it's like having a filter. Then I'm gonna use that same brush, which this is the L23 Laura Lee Los Angeles brush, and I'm just gonna take a very little bit and we're gonna focus in that pore area and then just kind of blend it out. And like I said, this foundation, if you don't really like want to set it, you don't have to, but I just love this powder with the foundation. It just looks so good. And normally my skin is not so textured and dry, but from being out in the sun and on the beach for so many days, my skin has been through it. It definitely needs some extra skincare loving past couple nights. So for bronzer, we are going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer. It's supposed to last up to 24 hours, so it's going to help with that long stay, you know, longevity of your makeup. This one is in the shade 350 Medium, and I have not tried it yet, so this is also new. I'm super excited. Look how like silky that looks. It literally feels like butter. So we're gonna go ahead and try this bronzer out. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Real Techniques. This one is the Confident Contour 052. It's this one. I don't know if this was limited edition or not. And I'm just gonna go ahead. This looks very pigmented, so we're just gonna start in the back here and kind of just, ooh, see that warmth? This bronzer literally blends like a dream. So far, I really like this, and I understand like what everyone is raving about. So for blush, this is another product that you have to try with this look. It is the Luminous Putty Blush, and I know you're probably like, girl, you put so much powder on your face already. What are you thinking? These putty blushes are so good on top of powder. You don't have to worry about it. So, and what I like about the luminous ones is that it gives you back that glow, that little bit of life in your skin, that you don't look super dry and matte. So if you don't want to look matte and you want to have a little bit of dewiness in your skin still, you can still accomplish that with this. It's so good. This one is in Belize, Belize, and it is like almost like a coral pinkish color. Mine looks gross, like I have like little brush hairs in there, but I really don't want to like dig my nail and take them out, so it is what it is. And you can see how it just gives you back that glow. Just like, yes. And then whatever's left, I just kind of put it over the nose. I don't connect it. I used to connect it, and then I realized that I was giving myself like that butterfly, like lupus look. And I was like, what am I doing? So I kind of just put it like this. but I don't connect it anymore. And I do have a highlighter. I don't always use highlighter when I do this look because, again, I feel like the luminous blush gives me enough glow. But if you do want to use a highlighter, obviously you can. I usually reach for the pure nude highlighter if I do add one. With this look, this one is a darker one because of it being summer. This one's Be My Sunlight shade 40. So you can top it off just a little bit up top, which I might add a teeny tiny bit, but just doing the nose. There you go. You got your glow back. So for eyes, I'm just going to use this palette, the same thing. Sometimes I wear eyeshadow, sometimes I don't, just depending on how I feel. So today we're going to jump into the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette, which I love this palette so much. So I don't really know what I'm doing. It's not really an eye tutorial, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this. And yeah. Okay, so I tried to be a little bit more natural with my look, but then I kind of got a little carried away. So I don't know if my lip color now is gonna go with this. It's not. So I'm gonna have to choose another lip color. I really wanted to rock this like strawberry, it's like a strawberry red color. It's called, oh my god, what is this called? It's called Negroni, I think. I don't remember, but it's from Bite Beauty. Bite Beauty I know is no longer a brand, so I shouldn't even be using this on camera, but I really wanted to put it on today, and I was going to do something very neutral, very nude, but instead we did this like very cute like plum color. So I will very quickly show you the colors that I used. So in the crease, I just started off with Cherry Blossom, and then I went in with a little bit of Apricot, just like in the crease of the eye. And then on the outer part of the eye, just to kind of give it a little bit more of like a, I guess you could say like a berry tone color, I went into Sakura, I believe is what it's called. It's a shade right here. And then on the, under the eye, I just went in back in with these two shades. And then for my wing, I just used a little bit of Classic just all along the lash line. And then I went in with Bloom For You, which is like this beautiful deep plum color, and I did my wing with that. So that's all I did. I know it sounds a lot more complicated than what it really was. I'm gonna use a mascara that I know that I love. This is the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. I might use lashes. When I put on lashes now, I only use like an end of a lash. I don't put on a whole lash anymore. You know what? I think I'm just gonna keep it as is today. I was thinking about putting on some lashes, but I think this mascara is making me happy. All right, so for lips, I'm just gonna keep it kind of neutral. I'm gonna go in with the Lip Cheat pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade Pillow Talk, and also the lipstick is just in the, I guess the original shade of Pillow Talk. There's no like 01, 02, it just says Pillow Talk, so I'm guessing it's the original shade. That's what it looks like. So I don't know. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I feel like my face complexion doesn't look as good as it normally does, which is kind of disappointing because I was really excited to show you guys this routine, because every single time I did my makeup, I'm like, Jesus, it's so freaking good. But I honestly feel it's because my skin is just so dry. I should have went in with a very moisturizing primer versus, like, I could have still went in with a smoothing primer, but I feel like I should have used a very moisturizing primer. Let's set this face. I'm just using the Smashbox setting spray. This is the Photo Finish Weightless. Alright guys, that is everything. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, as well as, oh, I just scratched my soul. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.